Hello, I'm Christy Nelson, and welcome to this edition of 5 Talk Street. Here at NBC 5, we are very proud to say that we have told the story of North Texas for 67 years. NBC 5 recently entrusted decades of news film and scripts to our friends at the University of North Texas, and UNT is digitizing this material and making it available for all to access free online. And here to tell us more about this unique partnership is Brian Hocker. He is the Vice President of Programming for NBC 5. Dr. Martin Halbert, he is the Dean of the University of North Texas Libraries. And Morgan Geringer, she is the Head of Special Collections and manages archival preservation projects for UNT Libraries. Thanks to you all for being here to talk about this really important project. And Brian, I'd like to start with you. Explain why NBC 5 decided to donate this material to UNT.
Well, as you know, a little over a year ago, we relocated our studio facility from its original location on Broadcast Hill in Fort Worth. We were there 65 years. And anytime you leave a place that you've been in for 65 years, you have to clean out the basement. And we had a lot of stuff in the basement, is what it comes down to. And it turns out that back in the 1950s and 60s, they shot the film, brought it back to the station, wrote up the scripts, and it went in an envelope and into a box in our basement. And it survived all those years. And we realized we wanted to entrust it to someone who would be able to make it useful. It really wasn't accessible to us in its film format. And went out into North Texas and talked to several organizations and really ended up with UNT being a terrific fit for us. And it's just been a great partnership.
And let's talk about why it's so valuable. Why is this material, the scripts and the film, Dr. Halbert, why is this so valuable?
Well, this is a unique archive of the history of the North Texas region, obviously, and the enormity of the files from NBC 5 are just critically important for the historical understanding of what's gone on here in Texas for the last 60 years. We are delighted at UNT to be partners with NBC 5 on this project and very, very appreciative of the contributions that NBC 5 has made to the archives at UNT, and looking forward to working with you in the coming years on the digitization of this material and making it accessible to the entirety of the public of Texas and everybody else.
And Morgan, can you explain to us what goes into making this archive accessible?
Sure. As you can imagine, this archive is some of the materials are over 60 years old, so some of it has fallen into disrepair. So in order to digitize the materials and make them available, it's a very time-consuming process. The material has to be cleaned by hand. Some of it is a little dusty and dirty. The material then has to go through a digitization project frame by frame. So it's not as simple as just hooking it into a high-speed scanner. The digital files that we receive back then, our students and librarians have to create all of the metadata for those files to actually make them searchable for people to watch online.
So this is a really involved, detailed process.
Yes.
So what will it take? How long will it take?
Well, we anticipate the project taking several years at least, but the project is also dependent on the funding we're able to receive.
Okay, and let's talk a little bit about funding now, because NBC Universal actually got everything kicked off.
We did. NBC Universal has donated $275,000 to the university to kick off the project. You know, ultimately, the university estimates it's about a $2.7 million project. But we're happy to make this contribution. I mean, it's film that was collected over the years, again, from North Texas, and it's an opportunity to give that rich history back.
Fantastic. And what comes next? It's been kicked off. What comes next?
So we have a large digitization operation at UNT, and as Brian was saying, it's quite, and as Morgan was relating, it's quite labor intensive to put this material online. It costs about $7,500 per month of digitization work to get this material up and into the portal of Texas history, which is where it's all being made accessible. We are looking for partners to fund the additional digitization efforts on the project over the next few years. And I would like, as Dean of Libraries at UNT, to invite anybody that would like to come check out the facilities we have, see the really innovative process of digitization that goes on there, see what it looks like, see what goes into that. This is an investment in the future of our region. and an investment in the accessibility of news for subsequent generations. So I would like to say thank you to Christy, you and Brian for the donation to kick this off of the financial initial investment, and the donation of the materials.
And we'll talk about that a little bit more when we come back. We have to take a break, but when we come back, we'll demonstrate how easy it is to use the portal. And if you stay with us, we'll be right back with more of 5 Talk Street.